Thank you very much. Mr. Chair, members, in regards to in-home family child care, this is the largest number of providers and we are losing them rapidly. I have a testifier here with me today who is a practitioner with many, many years of experience, who works statewide with other providers and gives us valuable information on the impact and what is the material effect. One thing for us as legislators is to propose bills that have a meaningful impact in regards to the actual providers. So we have hearings on registered nurses, we have hearings on doctors, we have them come before us, the actual providers, and tell us, how does this bill impact them? What does it do for them? How does it benefit the people of Minnesota? And so this bill will do that. It just lines up the training requirements so that the burden, the regulatory burden, and the keeping track of all of that paperwork, all of those requirements, it lines it up so that it is better able to be accomplished by providers. Remember that the in-home family child care providers are generally women-owned, one-person employee of that home. They are the caretaker, paperwork doer, financial accountants. They are everything in the in-home family child care. So when center providers have a lot of other types of support, in-home family child care providers, they themselves are the ones who have to do it all. So we need to include their voice or we will not be able to successfully accommodate the need out there. So with that, Mr. Chair, that is my presentation and would like to leave the rest of the testimony to my testifier.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Ms. Seidel.
Good morning. Julie Seidel, Public Policy Director for MACCP. Back in, I believe it was 2016, I may be wrong with the year, we had passed legislation clarifying trainings that to be required on annual basis during our licensing period. We're each licensed at a different date depending on when you started. My license runs from October 1st to September 30th. We were assured by DHS at that time that this new legislation would be applied to all trainings, including the trainings that are only required every 2 or 5 years. However, upon implementation, DHS is still requiring training for first aid, CPR, SUIDS, abusive head trauma, and car safety classes to be completed within the same month it was previously taken. Unfortunately, these classes are not available all 12 months out of a year. Classes are canceled due to low participation, trainers becoming ill, or in the case of the last 2 weeks, weather. I have 2 notices right here from Think Small, which is one of our largest trainings, and in the last 2 weeks they have canceled all of their classes, leaving providers to scramble to get to these trainings. What happens if we don't have that training within the same month? We're given a correction order. The correction order then, of course, is posted now on the internet for 4 years for everybody to see that we failed to complete our first aid class or CPR class, when in fact we didn't fail to complete it, we failed to complete it within that particular month. By allowing child care providers to complete these classes any month prior to our licensing expiration, it will relieve this undue stress upon providers when these classes are canceled or unavailable. I'm hoping that this bill will have some bipartisan support here today because it does give some great relief to providers. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the members? With that, Senator Kiffmeyer, any final words?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair and members, there are many regulatory burdens that are unnecessary. There are those that we can lighten and make form more smoothly with the whole process, okay? This is one bill. We have another bill coming up after this also that has to do with the same subject area of training. There are probably about another 16 bills that each in their own way have an effect. And if you're wondering why people leave this profession, it is these kinds of things that will do that. They love children. They love caring for them. They love having them in their home. They are passionate. They are committed. These are statewide organizations that are speaking as one voice here to you, with many, many members that read through these bills, read through these issues, attend the stakeholder meetings, communicate, work very, very hard on their own dime. They are not paid to do it. They do it as a labor of love because they care for the children and their families that they have an intense bond with that they want to continue. So, Mr. Chair, members, thank you for hearing this bill, and I hope to see you more often as we address this issue. Thank you.